पुमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिने नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So here we are seeing the continuation of the description of a man who has spent his life in sense gratification, specifically an attached householder, a grihamedhi. When he is old, what are the difficult situations he faces? In the previous verses we heard how his family members, they maintain him less than a dog. Because for a dog, we don't care much specific items to offer the dog or whatever, its diet. No, whatever is left over, we just throw it to the dog and it eats and is happy. Likewise, an old man is maintained in the family and just he'll be waiting for an inglorious death. He thinks that dying surrounded with all family members, and after death a big procession will be there, nicely decorated body, he'll be taken to the graveyard with all pomp and glory. That's very good. But he doesn't know that he will not be alive to look at and enjoy all these arrangements. On the other hand, when he is about to die, the condition, more explanation is given in these two verses. Vayuna utkramata uttaraha. His uttaraha, his eyes. Vayuna utkramata. Because of air within, the force of air within, his eyes bulge out. Utkramata means to come out. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Utkramantam sthitam vapi bunjanam va. Whatever, to come out. Because of the pressure of air from within, the eyes bulge out. Kapha samriddha nadikaha. And his nadikaha, his windpipe, will be filled with mucus. Kapha samriddha nadikaha. And because of that, kasa, he is coughing. Kasa shvasa krita ayasaha. Because of coughing repeatedly, breathing heavily, ayasaha is put into distress, painful, very difficulty is finding to breathe. He is coughing. And ayasaha, very with great difficulty is breathing and coughing. Kanthe gura gurayate. And when he is breathing, coughing, there is a rattling sound in his throat. Gura gura, like that, some sound, rattling sound there is within the throat. And the next verse, Shayanaha parishochadbihi. Shayanaha, he is sleeping on the bed, on his deathbed. Any moment he may give up his body. Parishochad bihi, the people around, they are lamenting. Parishochad bihi. Parivitaha svabandhubihi. Parivitaha means surrounded by all of his relatives. They are lamenting, oh my father or my husband or my relative, my son, whatever it may be. They are crying out. And this person is lying on his deathbed. Vachamanopi na brute. Vachamanaha, he wants to speak something. He wants to express his desire. He wants them to give some instruction. Do this, do that, don't do this or whatever. Or get me this. But na brute, he is unable to speak because his throat is filled with mucus. When he wants to speak, he is coughing and breathing heavily. He is unable to express himself. He is unable to speak. Why? Why? Because Kala Pasha Vasham Gataha, he has come under the clutches of Kala, time. Though he is desirous to speak, he has unlimited desires, he wants to express to his relatives who have surrounded him. But since because he has come under the clutches of Kala, he is unable to do it. So here, I'll be telling three important lessons from the teachings of Srila Prabhupada in different places. So just now we could make out the situation, how it is. An old man, attached family man, lying on his deathbed, surrounded with his lamenting relatives, his family members, and all are crying. Even he wants to express his desires, communicate something, he is unable to do it. He is very tired of coughing and heavy breathing and rattling sound within his throat. So in this connection, Srila Prabhupada, in different places, different instructions he gives. Many things to learn from this, whatever, a situation which everyone has to undergo. In one place, Srila Prabhupada says, the dying man on his deathbed, if at all, Shri Krishna Balarama ki. Now, here it is said how Vachamano api na brute kala pasha vasham gata. He has desire to speak, but he is unable to speak and express himself. Think that he is able to express himself. If at all that option is given, or whatever, he is able to express himself. The dying man, if he asks, so many people are surrounded around the deathbed, his wife, his children, brother, sister, grandchildren, his servants and friends and relatives, everyone are surrounding him. If he asks, any moment I may die, I don't know where I will go, I am afraid alone to go, whole life, so many people, all of you were there with me. Now, in this final journey of mine, I'll be leaving this body and I don't know where I'll be going. Can any one of you accompany me? Come along with me? Nobody will be ready for that. Hundreds of people may be there. Everyone throughout the life very attached, oh, he's leaving and going there, crying. But nobody will be ready to accompany along with him in that final journey what he has to undertake. So alone we come to this material world, alone we have to leave this world and go. All the so-called relatives, so-called friends, so-called intimate people connected with us, we have to leave everyone and go alone. But we should remember, Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. Krishna is our real friend. He is the only person who accompanies us in his feature as Paramatma, the super soul. That's why he is our only friend, real friend, nobody else in this material world. So this is one very important lesson we need to learn from foreseeing what will happen in our lives inevitably. The second lesson, the second one, I'll read out this one from one conversation by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada says, I have seen my friend, he was dying. He was at that time 54 years old only. And he was begging the doctor, my dear doctor, medical man, can you not give me 4 years time only? I can fulfill my plan. He was a very big businessman, so he was planning something to do. But the doctor said that you cannot survive. So he was begging the mercy of the doctor. Doctor, can you not give me at least 4 years time? Give me some medicine so that I live at least for 4 years. I'll finish my plan. As if the doctor can give him life, he was feeling this as his obstacle. I'm going to die without fulfilling my plan. So this is another important lesson to learn. Different plans we may have, different things we may be desirous to do, to accomplish, to achieve, to earn, to settle things. I want to get my daughter married, I want to get my son settled, get him a job and construct my house, finish this, business for transactions, that, this. Hundreds of things may be there. He may be completely involved in various activities, planning and working and whatever, so many things. But suddenly, Yamadutas come and snatch him out, take him away from all of his material situation. He may be a big businessman, a family man, hundreds of plans he may have. None of those things will be taken into account. When the time comes, abruptly, he has to leave everything and just surrender to Kala. So this is another important thing. So whatever plans we may have, so better thing for a devotee not to plan too many things for one's own sake. Our only plan is Krishna's plan, our spiritual master's plan. Whether we are there in this body or if it is unfinished, maybe another body, we just continue with our services to fulfill the plan, to fulfill the desires of our spiritual master, of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So its fulfillment, success or failure belongs to them. It is not ours. Till the time we have energy, prana in this body, just continue with our services. Any moment we are being called, we have to pick the call and surrender. Then, third, Kala Pasha Vasham Gataha. He is under the control of time. Completely under the control of time. So now we are speaking about the old man lying on his deathbed, who is completely under the control of time. As if we are not under the control, we are also at any given point of time fully under the control of Kala. It seems there was one man. He did not wish to die. He did some tapasya. austerities to please Yamaraja, so that he should become immortal. Yamaraja should not come and take him away. Being pleased by his austerity, Yamaraja appears there and asks him, what boon do you want? So he says, I don't want to die. So Yamaraja says, no, what is this? This boon I cannot give. It's not there in my jurisdiction. I myself have come, and one day when I have to leave, I am only temporary. I can't grant you this boon of immortality. Okay, if you can't grant this boon, at least you should serve notice period. Before whatever you take me away, before death comes, you should inform me. You should serve whatever notice period should be given. Okay, Yamaraja agreed. And this man was very confident and very bindas, whatever he nicely enjoyed in all kinds of different activities, sense gratification, different plans and hundreds of things, whole life, everything. And this went on for years and decades and went on and on. Even in his old age, fully involved in all of different varieties of activities, as if he'll never die, because he knew Yamaraj will send notice. Till notice has not come, and he is fully engrossed in all of his various sensual activities in this material world. And one fine day, all of a sudden, Yamadutas come. They snatch him and take him to the court of Yamaraja. And this person was protesting. Arey, cheating. You had told me that you will inform me earlier. You did not serve me any notice. Yamaraj said, 30 years ago, didn't your hair turn white? White hair started coming. 20 years ago, didn't you notice your teeth, one by one, slackening and falling apart? 10 years ago, didn't your skin, you notice your skin becoming shriveled and all the luster and whatever, everything gone and whatever, the texture changed? So, these are all the different notices which I had served. But forgetful of all of these things, simply you are involved in your own activities. Now we should think for ourselves. How many of our hairs have turned white, 1 or 2, and it will grow, become 4 and 8, and it will multiply like that. Many of us already root canal or whatever, different kinds of tooth problems we have been facing, and skin becoming shriveled. Already notices being served. Notice period has already started at any given point of time. The notice period ends and Yamaraja's servants will do their duty. Yamadutas will come. So we should be prepared. Okay, these were the 3 things which I wanted to say. And now I'll be reading this portion from the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the instructions by Narada Muni to King Prachina Barhi. This king Prachina Barhi or Prachina Barhishat, he also whole life was fully involved in all kinds of course he was a very religious person, different kinds of sacrifices he was doing, trying to earn pious credit, but forgetting the real essence of whatever, to perform devotional service and go back to Godhead. He was thinking, okay, I'll whatever maintain this kingdom nicely and accrue all kinds of pious activities. So Narada Muni comes there to instruct him. And one very nice allegory, the story of Puranjana, he narrates the city of Navadvarapuri, how this Puranjana, referring to the spirit soul, enters the Navadvarapuri, that is this human body, and he spends sufficient time enjoying all kinds of varieties of sensual activities in that Navadvarapuri, and time passes. Chandavega, he comes. Chandavega is time factor, along with his 360 Gandharva soldiers, he comes and attacks the city of Navadvarapuri. Still this Purandana is very strong. He doesn't give up so easily. With his bodyguard, 5-headed serpent, the Panchaprana, he goes on fighting against the Chandavega and his soldiers, and he is also very strong, fighting. His lifespan, comes to an end. At that point of time, Narada Muni explains how there comes one young girl, I don't know, young or not, whatever. She is Kalakanya. She is the daughter of time, Kalakanya. Narada Muni says to King Prachina Barhishat, Kalasya duhita kachit Trilokim varamichati Paryatanti nabarhishman Pratyanandata kaschana. So here, Kalasya duhita, the daughter of time. She is actually jara or old age or invalidity due to old age. She is the daughter of Kala. Kalasya duhita kachit Trilokim varamichati. She is traveling all around the 3 worlds, upper, lower, all planetary systems, everywhere she is going. Why is she going? Varamichanti. She wants one husband to her match. She is going and approaching everybody in all the 3 worlds, not sparing anyone. Paryatanti nabarhishman pratyanandata kaschana, and nobody wants her. But she is going and falling on every man she sees. My dear King Prachina Barhishat, at this time the daughter of the formidable time was seeking her husband throughout the 3 worlds. Although no one agreed to accept her, she came. The purport Srila Prabhupada writes, the invalidity of old age known as Jara is figuratively explained here as the daughter of time. No one likes her, but she is very much anxious to accept anyone as her husband. So if anyone is ready, she is immediately ready to accept him. But actually no one wants her. But she forces herself upon everyone. So this is a Kalakanya. And then Daurbhagyenatmano loke Vishruta durbhageti sa Yatushta rajarshayetu Vritadat purave varam. Daurbhagyena atmano loke Vishruta durbhageti sa. So she is very unfortunate. Nobody wants her. But Yatushta rajarshayetu Vrita adat purave varam. Once upon a time, maybe once only this happened, this incident, that one person was ready to accept her. Nobody wants this old age, this Jara, this Kalakanya. But there was one king only who accepted her, because of which he was able to get blessings by this Jara or old age, and wonderful blessings he got. And who was that? Anyone knows? One person who accepted old age. Yayati's son. Last son. Puru. Yes. This Puru accepted this old age. Why? Because his father Yayati, he had married Devayani, daughter of Shukracharya. And this Devayani had one friend by name Sharmishta. So when the marriage took place, along with the Devayani, many other her friends, everyone came to the city of this Yayati Maharaja and stayed in their palace. And Maharaja Yayati became attached to Sharmishta also. This was not for the liking of Devayani, who went and complained to her father, Shukracharya, about whatever is happening. And Shukracharya became angry and he cursed his son-in-law, Yayati, that he should become old, Jara. So untimely, Maharaja Yayati became old. Then he begged and whatever for forgiveness and all of those things happened. And so he says, okay, if anyone is ready to accept your old age, then you can exchange your your old age with their youth. So he went and asked his sons, one by one. He had 5 sons. The first 4 sons, giving different reasons, they did not accept this proposal. But his last son, Puru, he agreed for this proposal of his father. So Puru, a very young man, he accepted the old age of his father, Jara or invalidity of his father, in exchange for his youth. So Maharaja Yayati, becoming very kind and very whatever, he has done such a big sacrifice for me, was very happy with his youngest son, and he made his youngest son Puru the emperor, and all his other elder 4 brothers were made to be as subordinate kings under the emperor, or the youngest son Puru. So this is what is referred to here by Narada Muni, that just because Puru, once only Puru had accepted such a big vast empire, he got, though he actually was not eligible for that. He was the youngest son. His elder brother should have got it, but he got the entire kingdom. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, the invalidity of old age known as Jara, sorry, this is over, next one, yeah. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, the purport is that one can accumulate wealth and all kinds of material opulences, but during old age, one cannot enjoy them. Although Puru attained his father's kingdom, he could not enjoy all the opulence, for he had sacrificed his youth. One should not wait for old age in order to become Krishna conscious. Due to the invalidity of old age, one cannot make progress in Krishna consciousness, however opulent he may be materially. Very important lesson to learn. So in this incident, we are seeing how Puru, though he was made the emperor, he was not able to enjoy the kingdom because of his invalidity due to old age. Likewise, if we think, now I am young, I will nicely work hard, earn money, all material opulences, home and estate and whatever wealth and property I'll accumulate, and at old age I'll look at whatever, spend my time in my spiritual advancement. No, this will not happen. If young age is spent in simply accumulating some money, temporary wealth, no, in old age it becomes very difficult. Especially Krishna consciousness has to start from young age. Even as per the instructions of Prahalada Maharaja, Kaumaram acharet prajno dharman bhagavatam iha. This Bhagavata dharma has to be started from the age of 5. Already we are late. So this is another important instruction we should see. Then Narada Muni continues his instruction. He says, Kadachid atmanas atamanasa brahmalokan mahim gatam vavre brihadvratam mamtu janati kama mohita. So this Kalakanya, Kadachit atamanasa, she is wandering in all the 3 worlds. Once upon a time, Narada Muni is speaking about himself. I was coming down from Brahmaloka. Brahmalokan mahim gatam. from Brahmaloka, I was coming down to this material world, earthly planet. At that point of time, this Kalakanya met me. And Vavre Brihad Vratam Mam tu Janati Kama Mohita. And she wanted to marry me. And she approached and she is proposing me, Narada Muni is telling. But I told her, no, I have taken this Brihad Vrata of Brahmacharya, I cannot marry you. And Narada Muni rejected her. But this Kalakanya approached Narada Muni also. Just because, why? Because how this Kalakanya was rejected by Narada Muni, she curses him. This Kalakanya curses Narada Muni. What does she curse? Mai samrabhya vipula mada chapam sudussaham sthatum arhasi naikatra madhyachya vimukho mune. Because of madhyachya vimukho mune, she had requested me but I had rejected her proposal. So she cursed me. Sthatum arhasi na ekatra. Ekatra sthatum na arhasi. You cannot remain at one place. You cannot have a proper residence. Just keep traveling. This was the curse upon Narada Muni from this Kalakanya, he says. There again, nicely Prabhupada writes, there is ordinarily no need for Narada Muni to stay in one place for more than the time he requires to preach. Since by his own free will he is already traveling all over the universe. The curse of Kalakanya is described as fortunate. Like Narada Muni, many other devotees of the Lord are engaged in preaching the glories of the Lord in different places and in different universes. Such personalities are beyond the jurisdiction of material laws. So Narada Muni, very fortunate, he thinks of himself and accepted this curse, and that's why he keeps preaching. He doesn't stay for time more than what is required for preaching in one place. So this is what Narada Muni, his life became. So this is how it's explained figuratively. And then okay, Narada Muni doesn't stop there because he is also a very great devotee, compassionate preacher. So he is compassionate on the Kalakanya also. So he says to her, Tato vihata sankalpa kanyaka yavaneshwaram mayopatishtam asadya vavre namna bhayam patim. Anyhow, I know I can understand your desires. I cannot accept you, but you can go and approach Yavaneshwaram, the king of Yavanas. His name is Bhaya. Bhayam namna vavre patim. You go and accept that king of Yavanas, whose name is Fear, and he will accept you as his wife. You can go and approach him. So Narada Muni sent Kalakanya to Bhaya, or this king of Yavanas. Again there Prabhupada in the purport he writes, after much consideration, the king of the Yavanas decided to make the best use of a bad bargain. See, even he did not like to accept her. But still, okay, Narada Muni has ordered, he has sent her. But still he thought over, make best use of bad bargain. What does he do? Kalakanya was a bad bargain and no one liked her. But everything can be used for the service of the Lord. Thus, the king of the Yavanas tried to utilize her for some purpose. The purpose has already been explained. That is, Kalakanya as Jara, the invalidity of old age, can be used to arouse a sense of fear in people so that they will prepare for the next life by engaging in Krishna consciousness. So there is a purpose, big arrangement by the Lord. This Jara, old age, which causes fear in a person, can bring about the arousal of whatever it necessitates, or that fear persuades him to practice spiritual life, to take up to Krishna consciousness, to prepare for the next life. If this was not there, somehow they would have spent their time. It is because of this Jara and her husband, old age, whatever fear, bhaya, people, they take up to spiritual life. So this is the purpose. And the last verse of this chapter, this was spoken by the Yavana king. He speaks to that Kalakanya and he says, Prajvaroyam mama bhrata tvam cha me bhagini bhava charami ubhabhyam lokesmin avyakto bhima sainikaha. So this Yavana king Bhaya, he had one brother. His brother's name is Prajvaraha. Prajvara means actually high temperature. Prajvara. He is my brother. So you come, myself, Bhaya, along with you, old age, and along with my brother, high temperature, is whatever Prajvara, and I have big Sainikaha. Bhima Sainika, very fearful soldiers I have. All of us, we shall go, we shall travel everywhere and create fear amongst people. I'll read the translation. The king of the Yavanas continued, here is my brother Prajvara and you, and I shall employ both of you as well as my dangerous soldiers to act imperceptibly within this world. So there Srila Prabhupada makes it clear. Actually, this is all figurative speech, allegory. What meaning we have to take from that? Srila Prabhupada explains in this way. The word Prajvaraha is very significant, for it means the fever sent by Lord Vishnu. Fever, that is Prajvara. Such a fever is always set at 107 degrees Fahrenheit, the temperature at which a man dies. So normal temperature is there, so the temperature goes on, increases, whatever, 107 degrees it reaches, death. So Yavana Raja's brother was Prajvara, and Kalakanya was invalidity herself, combined and strengthened by the soldiers of Yavana Raja. So who are those soldiers of Yavana Raja? They are namely non-hygienic conditions. They are the soldiers of this Yavana king. Non-hygienic conditions, illicit sex, and ultimately a high degree of temperature to bring on death. They would be able to smash the materialistic way of life. In this connection, it is significant that Narada was immune to the attack of Jara or invalidity, and similarly, Jara or the destructive force cannot attack any follower of Narada Muni or a pure Vaishnava. So with this the chapter concludes. So very important lesson for us to see how this invalidity due to old age, Jara or this Kalakanya, she keeps traveling and approaches everybody and everyone, and whoever wants, they'll accept her. Though nobody wants her, she forces herself upon everyone. It's only if at all we want to be immune to her influence, it's possible only by following in the footsteps of Narada Muni, completely engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, especially engaged in preaching activities. So only when this is done, a person will not be affected by this Kalakanya or old age. Otherwise, as given in these pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, completely invalid, lying on deathbed, eyes bulging out, rattling sound in the throat, unable to speak. With all of these difficult situations, one has to give up his body ingloriously. This will conclude. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.